Alright, we're going to be reacting to Fortnite's best fighter you've never heard of. I'm pretty sure it's Pings. He plays on EU. And let's see if we can learn anything from how he fights and how he plays.
This pro Fortnite player might just be the most underrated player of all time. They got 5th at the Global Championships last year, currently inside the top 10 ranked players on EU, and they've already placed 2nd and 4th in FNCS Major Finals already this chapter. Who am I talking about? None other than Pings. Pings literally has got 3,000 subscribers on YouTube. Despite only having 3,000 subscribers, he's a serial tournament winner with over 20 different tournament wins, and he just got the highest amount of kills in the world in the FNCS Skin Cup. I put out an open challenge on Twitter to see who would get the most kills, and Pings delivered, and that's exactly what we're going to be taking a look at today with how good Pings is.
Hey, comment down below if you guys got the skin from the FNCS Cup.
Fighting is he's able to drop over 80 kills in 10 games of solos. Now, start off this game, Pings does a very nice play right here, which is getting straight in on an unsuspected player while he's third partying. Rather than doing a typical setup or anything standard, he gets straight into the guy's box by farming in from below. And especially
This guy did not hear, does he not hear Pings smacking his cone when he's right under him? I guess not.
Especially by spraying in with his AR right here, the opponent doesn't get any audio cues because of the boss fight nearby. This allows him to get a free kill on the starting player. However, it does leave him very exposed and a risky situation versus this next player.
Dude, wow, look at him. You can see him. You could kill him so easily right here.
Whenever you're in a difficult situation like this, it all comes down to how quick you can think, as well as how good your movement is. Take a look what Pings does. As soon as he holds the stair once, he doesn't give the opponent any time to try to grab it again. Instead, he instantly edits while moving to the side, which is so important. He gets completely out of the
Dude, the opponent thinks he's right there in the corner. That's smart.
way of where the guy was aiming and allows him to line up a max damage shot. And now, as the guy prepares to look where he was moving to and aim where he just was, he swings completely the opposite way while jumping as well. This is called counter strafing, where you move one way and then the other, and it makes it very hard for your opponent to hit a shot on you, and that allows him, even though he's in a very risky situation and he was only 100 HP, to win that fight and get 2 easy elims. Alright, this next 2 fights actually has some very useful things that you guys can learn if you want to get better at fighting. First of all, if somebody's ever
Dang, yeah, this guy's definitely dead, bro. He just got chopped from max height. I doubt he has enough time to pop the misform or anything.
Sitting way up in a build fight, always just chop them out and do what Pings does right here, which is sitting behind a right and peak, allows you to get damage as they fall. Even if they don't know how to fall, you're going to get some opening damage. It allows them to get a very nice free kill. That's not the main thing I want to focus on. Is this next fight versus this other player who's actually pretty good, and it's a perfect example of how to approach somebody as they make space and play defensive. First of all, Pings gets the crack at the start of the fight, and take a look at what the other player does. Instantly swaps to metal, good play by him, backward stairs and builds a 2x1 wide, as well as another backward stair and builds another 2x1 wide. So this is a very
You can literally see him lurking right here in the corner, bro. This guy's
player
cooked.
to fight, because instantly after being cracked, he's already made 3 metal boxes and he's on his way to make even more. So watch what Pings does. And there's a very key thing that Pings does the whole way through this fight, which is constantly moving to the right. He is never pressing A on his keyboard, moving to the left at all during this entire fight. Pump will replace, spray, never pickaxing, constantly keeping up the spray pressure, and even now
It's so easy to keep spray pressure, especially with that Spire rifle, dude. It has 50-something bullets in it and does so much structure damage. I remember when it was released at the beginning of the season, it was so broken.
as the guy continues to make space, now he's onto, a 2x1 right here, or 2x2, sorry. He's onto so much space. Pings is constantly moving to the right, keeping up the pressure, and by the time the guy finally gets a mini off and wants to go for a counter shot, Pings is ready for it, and you can see the advantage of this peak. He is moving to the right, the guy is moving to the left, just because of how he's been approaching the box, and that allows him to get a nice free kill. One of the best tricks that you can do in a fight, whenever you get caught in a bad situation like he does right here, is hit to a little bit lower HP. It's just taking a bait pause, and what you do is you box up, potentially even pull out a heal, so it looks like you're about to start healing or start popping a big or something, and then immediately cancel what you're doing. And this will basically trick the opponent, as you can see right here, into no longer thinking about making space or, playing smart. Instead, they're going to think, oh, I've hit some damage in return, I can heal up, which is exactly what this guy does. And as soon as this guy starts getting caught in the animation of the chug, Pings is open, doing a smarter and better wall replace. And what he does very nicely here, I think you guys should always do this whenever you're wall replacing, is forcing something into the box.
Yeah, bro, a lot of kids will just sit there in a box. You don't know how many times I've come across a kid and they just don't have no cone, no ramp, no nothing in their box. And if you were to look down here with that wall there, I'm pretty sure you can place a cone under. I don't know, there's some crazy shit.
There's a stair in this case, which makes it very, very awkward for the guy to hold the wall. He sort of gets pushed under the stair. And now Pings has a nice, easy time, perfect right-hand peek that he's got set up here. The guy's still standing there trying to hold his wall. Gets a free shot and does a double scroll reset at the same time. Guy shoots the wall. All Pings does is hold it rather than trying to insta re-edit.
Fortnite's a game, bro. You gotta stay on your toes the whole time, or else you're dead.
Then smart right peek again, no chance for the other player. And that all came, obviously he got the wall first try, but that all came from him baiting out the fact he was going to heal and the opponent falling for it. One very nice play that I've seen a lot more people start to do in fights this season, especially with the new dashes, is by quickly angle swapping at the start of the fight. So as you can see right here, this is a very, very typical
Dude, I was doing this and it low-key works, especially with the dashes.
Situation. You'll have somebody in a box that's facing you, and the walls that are towards you will be the most healthy because they've built these as of the most recent time. However, if you were to able to just quickly get over to the other side, either they won't have a wall there because they haven't thought about placing it just yet, or that wall will be the most recently placed, which means it's the lowest HP. And that's exactly what Pings abuses at the start of this fight. What he does is dashes over to the other side, catches himself, unfortunately lags a little bit, but as you can see, the guy just placed this wall, which means there's only about 160 HP, allows him to shotgun AR replace it as quick as possible and line up an easy shot as the guy was stuck. It's so much better to swap the angle as soon as you approach, especially if somebody's in a fresh built box where the walls behind them aren't healed up. Makes it much easier to take out opponents and do it quickly. This right here is a perfect example of how to defensively play when you're low HP by Pings. As you can see, he's chasing, trying to third party once again with the surfboard, and he ends up cracking his opponent, does a risky play to jump into the box and using his AR, so he gets hit 100, and this is when
that mythic spire, bro, hits for so much. 2 shots and you're just dead.
One of the few remaining players in the lobby starts third partying him, and this is when it's very, very important that you follow this exact playbook that Pings outlines. First of all, he builds a stair, so he double layers towards his opponent and then looks for damage back as the guy closes the gap. There's always a moment when somebody's spraying at you that they're going to stop spraying and start sprinting or to start running over towards you, and in that exact moment you need to get some counter damage, and you can always do this very, very safely. Just wait for them to stop spraying and then instantly right hand peek like he does right here, and he does it on an unexpected angle, and again, because of that double layer that he just did, the guy can no longer see him because he's hiding behind a wall off to the side. Then Pings does the very, very nice play, which is making a 2x1 as well as sitting in between the 2 boxes. This makes it very, very awkward for the guy as he approaches the wall, even though he's been hit 80.
Yeah, he does it because if he takes a he doesn't know which one he's gonna edit. Literally standing in the center, that's smart.
It's very, very awkward for him to know what type of edit Pings is going to do. If you just sit in a single box, you're so limited by the edits you can do. However, if you sit between 2 boxes, it makes it much, much easier to actually think of a play to do. This allows him to do a quick timing shot, catch the guy off guard. As you can see, the guy didn't have a shotgun out. It's a quick timing shot, and he instantly places his own cone inside the box, as you can see, and then uses his own cone to crouch behind it and come up with another nice peek. As you can see, nice peek, swings to the side using the 2x1 that he's got, as well as the cone, and the guy misses his shot, and he gets a nice free kill. In this next fight, Pings has a couple very, very nice smart plays that I want to highlight for you guys, because it is the difference between ending a fight quick.
That guy didn't even... He must not have visual audio on, because if you didn't hear that, I don't know what to say, bro.
And your opponent making loads of space. First of all, gets a nice free kill, approaches the second player on the right hand peak, swing to the right, gets a little bit of open damage, and immediately gets this nice high cone up on the other opponent, isn't able to get the full.
The cone dragging, bro. You can drag cones so high and so far. That's the one building that goes it's insane. Use your cones, bro. Utilize them.
And also isn't able to get the wall replaced on the guy when he's sitting in a box. And this is when that smart play actually comes out. The guy is boxed up down below, and watch what Pings does. This is so smart. He stands on the guy's top, so he's going to expect him to jump down and start replacing his walls, and he just baits out the fact that he's going to jump down on this wall, as you can see right here. And what this does for the opponent is it shows
no cone in his box or anything.
Up on visual audios which wall and which side you'll be approaching from, and immediately turns their attention to that wall. So now this player is going to be thinking about, maybe baiting a mini, maybe insta editing that wall, and Pings completely turns it on the opponent's head, distracts him with all the attention going to this wall, then swaps up and goes for the side wall and starts replacing it. And this might not look like the craziest play ever, but basically this guy in the box can no longer think about what edit to do and making a smart play, and instead he's now just in a 50-50 trying to hold his wall, placing a stair in case he gets it taken, and now Pings has a way easier time of ending the fight just because of that small play. He swaps back onto the original wall that he was baiting out earlier, gets a free kill as the guy opens up, and it's all about not making your opponent being able to think about the play they want to do and catching them completely off guard when you do something unexpected. And the next thing that I want to highlight from you guys from Pings is exactly how he approaches boxes by avoiding common mistakes. So watch this.
I mess up a lot on this is how to approach a box. So let's see.
Example right here, he quickly closes the gap towards the opponent, doesn't spend ages spraying as the guy's making space. He just closes the gap, gets towards him, but he avoids the extremely common mistake of giving up counter damage. As you can see, the guy is positioning and setting up to actually do a smart counter peek, sitting back of his box or maybe doing it instead of it, and Pings completely avoids that. He layers up, so now he's got the high ground advantage, he's maintained that. He's also let the guy pop up a couple minis, which I think is quite good in fights. You don't need to cancel the guy's first set of minis he's popping, and he blocks the angle so he can no longer take damage. And this is when he falls into its very, very classic playstyle. Pressure the top, spray forward, then go ahead and pressure the wall. Pickaxe, spray through, just like that, and immediately turns his attention from wall to top.
Wall to top, wall to what? Like, man, that's hard to keep up with. Even though there's visual audio, that's still hard.
Just like this, smacks on the top, doesn't quite get it. There's another one of those little footstep bait outs I was talking about a second ago, where you walk over to the side and make your
Yeah, that's crazy. The footstep bait out. He thinks he's gonna jump down, but he doesn't.
opponent look that way. Then he starts pressuring the wall as it lags a little bit right here. And immediately after pressuring the wall, baiting the guy out, making the guy think that he's going to go down a layer. So many people, when you go down a layer, they're just going to insta edit up and start trying to hit an angel or just start trying to take height. And he's already ready for it. Pickaxe is the top. The guy comes out. He sets up a shot, defensive piece, and then has an easy time winning the fight versus that opponent. It's so important when you fight and you get the advantage. You don't instantly lose it by doing a dumb setup or a dumb peek. And I've got another full video that's going to be coming out soon explaining exactly how to avoid that mistake. This next fight is a perfect example of why Pings is such a good player and what makes him such an underrated fighter. So to start off with, this is a completely open 200 HP versus 200 HP fight, and Pings approaches it pretty cautiously. As you can see, he does the classic right hand swing, sprays to replace the wall, and I actually like this little angle he does right here to just shotgun replace this. However, he finally gets caught off doing one of these sort of aggro right hand side wall replaces when he does the double pickaxe. This guy does a nice little timing double edit, and that's why it's so important to be careful using your pickaxe in a fight, because it's so obvious to the other
Caught him with his pickaxe out, chat. Look at that.
person's audio, and especially a pickaxe like this icebreaker one right here, actually quite bad for comp because it makes such an obvious noise and people are used to hearing it and then used to doing edits in creative and things like that when you use it that much. So personally,
Don't care, I'm still using it.
things: don't double pickaxe and don't use the icebreaker because other people can hear it. However, he turns this completely on its head by his quick thinking right here. First of all, he backs up for a second, builds a 2x1, and places this central wall in the 2x1, which is so important so he doesn't get this wall placed on him. Places his own defensive wall in his 2x1, so as the guy
You gotta take every piece in your box, I swear. You'll learn that the hard way.
aggro and come towards him, this guy makes a tiny mistake right here by not expecting and not having him something covering him, and he gets hit for 100, and Pings turns the fight on its head straight away. Pressures forward, doesn't make the mistake of pressuring through this way where the guy's got all the edits. Instead, he does a nice little sort of elevated side jump right here, the ledge jump to get around on the angle, and this is such a strong wall replace. Let me explain exactly why. The reason why this is a strong wall replace, even though you're directly on the wall like that, is first of all, you've got the cone protecting you, and because you're standing a little bit to the right, it makes it very awkward for the other player to do a peek. If he was to do a top right hand peek, you'd actually be protected and be able to like shotgun or pickaxe replace it before he can actually jump into that top right hand peek. So there's really not many good edits this player can do when you're standing on this exact spot on the cone right there. He insta pickaxes, gets the wall low, and he finally stops using his pickaxes and actually shotgun phases into the box, which is a really important technique that you need to learn. Again, just stand on the right hand of the box, keep moving around, make it all.
Yeah, because everyone's gonna do a right hand when they see you on their wall. So, unless they do a window, but you can easily shoot him back, I guess. And he's only 44 HP, so yeah, that's
Good for the
smart.
opponent to actually read what you're
Flip the
doing and
ramp
then
and
never
just
replace with your
knows what to
pickaxe
do.
as he does right here. Instead, he
And the Sentinel does so much structure damage. High structure damage shotgun.
shotguns into the box, gets that timing walkthrough, and gets a free kill. This right here is one of the best peaks in Fortnite, but it does take a bit of practice. As you can see, Pings gets straight onto this guy's wall and hops into the box while only grabbing this side wall right here, as you can see. Now, the opponent has Pings full box, but of course, Pings has an escape in mind, and he has a peek in mind that he's going to do. And it is actually the best peek in Fortnite, in my opinion, if you do it correctly. What you do is you edit a 4 tile. It allows you to get out of the guy's full box, and then using the gap between the stair and the 4 tile, you can line up an easy max damage shot, or at least
That's
get
hard to
100
learn.
plus
That's
bodies.
crazy,
The issue is though, you need to sit a little bit further back than Pings. You can see shot his own wall, just so your gun and your character model doesn't actually block and you actually don't hit either of them. If you sit a little bit further back, you have a way easier time of lining up the shot, and you can basically guaranteed kill your opponent. Another thing that Pings does a lot is as he breaks, he goes ahead and messes up the timing of his breaks. This is trying to bait out the opponent's pre-fire. So as they try to pre-fire you and as they try to, hold their builds, they're now going to have a messed up timing, and that allows him very, very easily to get into the box over and over and break when the opponent's not expecting it and get an easy even when after you set him down to low HP. One very nice play that Pings does as he approaches a third-party situation is he tries to get some damage on the guy who's probably more healthy, if that makes sense. So he shoots at the guy who's exposed at the top, not boxed up, gets a little bit of damage to force that guy to heal up, and he instantly turns.
Come on, we all hate third parties, let's be real, but we're the first ones to go as soon as we hear gunshots.
His attention to the other player, who, as you can assume, just by the way they're playing, they're boxed up, and even here they're making space. That tells Pings that the guy is low HP. So what does he do? Sets up straight on the wall. Very, very risky wall setup right here. However, he knows the opponent is probably low HP.
There it is. Look at that. Look at that. No inside piece. No cones. No floors. No nothing. I'll go back.
Right on the wall, very, very risky wall setup right here. However, he knows the opponent.
No inside piece.
He's probably low HP, which in this case he is because he's boxing up, and he looks inside the box. What is the guy missing? Spots no centerpiece control and no central wall in this 2x1, and he jumps straight in, cone slide, and gets the cone with his feet, as well as places this wall in front before the opponent is able to react and actually get it. Then he has a very, very easy time running straight through, getting a free kill, and continues to shoot forward to make space and get out of these enemy edits where he's not sure who's got the control of.
You can fight a kid like that obviously better than you if you just find mistakes, to be honest, and that's what pros are good at. So
he gets out of the space, makes it 1x1 out the back just to make sure he's safe, and now he's going to turn his attention to the guy who just tagged, and he's going to continue to chase him down. In his next fight, Pings does 4 really nice plays that I want you guys to learn from. First thing he's doing is not just sitting in a box passively, he's lurking around trying to find a kill, trying to find somebody coming out of storm, and he spots the opponent right there in a fresh built box. So what does he do? He tries to get a timing dash straight in, but unfortunately,
dude, they were doing that with Grim Gate dashes in chapter 5, dude. You could spray, and as soon as he's spraying, you know you're about to break the wall, dash in, and dude, the opponent literally doesn't know what to do.
Gets the man to above and wasn't able to execute it. Then he gets hit down to 50 HP, and he decides to just instantly pop his Jug, no longer continuing to.
Good, don't take any 50-50s.
When he's on the back foot. And this is a really good idea in a fight. If you ever get hit low, don't feel the need to continue trying to end the fight quick. Let your opponent, react, do whatever they want to do, make space, go ahead and try to shoot you back, whatever it is. Then you can turn around and use that to your advantage. The guy makes space, is no longer able to hold this wall way back here because he's busy refarming the tree, and Ping starts approaching it and very, very tactically leaves it down on low HP and starts focusing.
Yeah, dude, you just go from wall to wall and they don't know what to do. Eventually you're going to go in because all the walls are low unless he repairs them, but then it just takes too long.
This wall. Now the guy is completely focused on this wall. Pings is able to go back to the wall he's just hit twice with his pickaxe while the guy is editing, gets an instant replace and just barely misses the shot. Then he finally does a very, very nice play here. Sprays the wall down to low HP. Now the guy is going to be trying to edit a low HP wall, which is a really, really big mistake. And it's quite clear what edit he wants to do. He wants to do a top right hand peek while being protected. So what Pings does, goes underneath, goes from the bottom. The guy has absolutely no chance of doing anything in the situation. Sprints out the box and he has a really nice tracking to end the fight and take out the opponent. And towards the end of this cup, just before Pings was able to drop the most kills, he does a very...
Dude, look how many people are on that side of zone, bro.
Very smart played. I think you guys could learn for if you want to get a refresh or just generally player psychology. As you can see, he's rotating, he's using his dashes smartly, making sure he's not taking damage as he goes so he doesn't get fought, and he ends up boxing up next to this other player. There's a nice little 2x1 and throws down his old blob. And he realizes this other player wants to steal his blob, which kind of tells him that he's not the best player. He's also a little bit
bro, over here, Wavy 777's over here trying to chief dashes. That's crazy.
Shambles, doesn't have mobility perhaps. So what does he do? Smacks on the wall since it's just freshly edited and reset. Whenever a wall has been edited and reset,
I don't think he has anything in his box.
Always going to be one shot to a pickaxe. Smacks on the wall and forces in the stair, just like earlier. Gets that stair in, but isn't able to get the wall off in this case. And it's a very, very common thing with player psychology is whenever they're getting something in their box, they're not just going to stand there and break it because, of course, Pings could keep replacing it. And they're also not going to turn their back and go out the back way because, of course, they're worried about their wall being taken and not having control. So instead, they're going to go out the side and make space. And Pings just takes the bet. He's either going to the left or the right. He predicts the right, full boxes it, and gets ready to smack.
Free beast, look at Wavy,
here, and the guy runs straight out towards him. Quick 114, and then very, very simple as the guy starts spraying.
Yeah, bro, what is this guy doing? Look at him. He thought he was gonna go back.
Top right hand peek.
Wow.
Make sure he's nice and open so you can see the other player, and gets a nice free kill just before end game.
All right, well, that's the end of the video. If you liked it, go ahead and subscribe, like the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.